the force of social media be with you all. Okay, that's enough. Thanks. So, yeah, no, you're not in the wrong place. You're in the right place. I did want to add a little bit of cheekiness to the end here because I know we're all on our last legs. But I hope that you'll see that this is going to be worth your time. And now I just need the clicker. Okay, let's see. We'll get to the next thing. All right, so the purpose of doing this is sort of give you a wrap-up of what we've gone over today, give you some context, maybe some new ideas too, and also, again, just help you to shape your thoughts about all of the lots of information that we've gone over today. Where are we headed? Right? It's a big question. And as the panel very aptly described, there's a lot of people that call themselves, and myself included, I do consider myself to be an expert more than other people are because I have immersed myself into this whole social media world. As a marketer, I felt that it was necessary. How can I help people use these tools and give them guidance about what to do with them, what's relevant, what's appropriate, if I don't feel like I have a handle on what's going on? That said, clearly there are a lot of people that, you know, definitely have their areas of expertise, and then they, you know, like myself, I have a friend that I work with exclusively for PPC because that's her playground. It's not mine. But that said, again, as marketers, we've decided that we want to get to know about these things. We're testing them constantly, and we're doing that first and then foremost looking at best practices and policies, et cetera, et cetera. But even with all of that, change is a constant. It just is. Change is a constant, and we have to all get used to that. As was mentioned before, what was something that was, you know, the thing to be in, MySpace, gone. Will Facebook disappear? Don't know. We'll have to see what happens. So, and all the different things that are happening out there, we are at the mercy of Google. When you think of it, it's the largest search engine. We don't know what the algorithms are. We know a little bit about it. They have conferences. We talk to the experts. We go and, you know, go to these different conferences to hear what they're saying. But they're constantly messing up with things and changing things around. What we do know, if we're not in it, you're losing out. You're definitely losing out on in a very big way. So, you know, it's not just about people who are in big business, and it's not just about people who are in small business, but even farmers are using Facebook. And they're using it really well. They're understanding that it is real-time engagement. People are on their threads. Sometimes even while they're at work, they're checking their phones. They're checking in. Sometimes it's part of their job to be on in that space. Sometimes it's not, but they are there. You're seeing someone like something or forward something or retweet something. So more than you think, the people that you need to connect with are in these spaces for whatever reason. Again, with the farmers, they're putting out what their produce is for that particular day. They're talking about a particular animal. One of their animals may even have their own social channel. And they're getting attention to what they're doing and to their business, because it is a business. They want to make money. They want to survive, just from posting some cute photos of farm animals. So again, it's something that you can't ignore. And mobile is, what? Ubiquitous, right? We are now, who would have thunk a few years back that a room, which used to, you know, basically computers used to take up a whole room, would now be in the palm of your hand. The capabilities of what the huge supercomputers used to do are in your hand. It's frightening. But it's also liberating because, again, as others have mentioned, there's it's leveling the playing field, and that's really important. So it's giving us as small business owners, and even as someone who's in a space of being, you know, looking for a new job, you're able to be a publisher. You don't have to wait for someone else to tell your story. It's up to you to tell your story. In all these different channels, learn how to tell your story in a compelling way so that you, as a career track professional, rise above through the ranks through other people who maybe are not working their LinkedIn as well as they should, who are not using Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and even Periscope in a way that's going to serve your own interests. And that's the bottom line here, because unless we're all philanthropists, it is about making money. So you have to think about where you want to go and how you're going to reach people, and mobile is the way. You know, make sure that your website is ready for someone to look at it, that it's going to conform to that. It's responsive is what it's called, to that particular platform. So if you have a responsive website, then people are seeing it the way they should see it, depending on what tool they're using, whether it's an iPad, a laptop, etc. So traditional demographics are doing things differently. Who would have thought that people that traditionally would not have been comfortable in front of a video camera are picking up a camera or picking up their phone, flipping the camera around, talking, producing videos, and they're good. Some of them are not good, so you have to be careful, but some of them are good. And they're realizing that they have this power in the palm of their hand to get their message out in a compelling way, or in an authentic way. That's even more important. They don't have to be somebody else. You can be who you are, and it's cool who you are. Okay, so we all know that families are texting and Facebooking and messaging and Skyping, even grandmothers. Grandmothers in their 80s and 90s are using all of these tools. Again, who would have thunk a few years ago? It's just amazing how our behaviors are changing. And I do want to mention a caveat with this, because I hear all the time with business owners that I meet that, oh, well, I don't do this. And they have to eradicate that from their thought process, because it really isn't about what you personally do. You might say to yourself, I'm done, I'm not doing Facebook, or I'm not doing this. You have to take yourself out of the equation and think really seriously about what your target markets are doing and what they expect. Because our behavior is now that when we meet someone at a networking event, we are going to check them out online. And believe you me, if you're not Googling yourself and doing damage control if you need to, or at least are aware of what comes up when you Google yourself, you can bet your bottom dollar that the people who you are networking with at an event like this, or even socially online, they're checking you out. And if they don't like what they see, or if they feel kind of like, not too sure, this is kind of sketchy, not good. So again, you've got the power in your hands to be that publisher and take care of that. It's up to you. So more people are working from remote locations, as we know, and there are citizen journalists everywhere. We now, of course, in the Mahwah Chamber, we have this as a given. If you come to an event, you know you're going to be photographed, and you might be videotaped, and that's going to be used. And so if you're not supposed to be here, oops, for whatever reason, but you got to know that people are out there on the street, periscoping constantly. And they're periscoping without your permission. So as you're walking by and you're seeing someone holding their phone, there's a good chance that they're doing a live video stream. Now, I know that this is something that a lot of people feel uncomfortable with, and rightly so. Where does the line end where you have control over what people do with your image? I mean, we don't have to be Amish to have this concern. They don't want their images taken. We all want to have some level of privacy. Maybe we're having a heated discussion, or maybe we'll take the word heated out. We're having a lively discussion with a spouse. You don't want that landing online because someone thought, oh, this is fun. I think I'll just periscope this. It's something to think about, something to be aware about. There are the negative sides of all of these tools. We are also selfie obsessed, right? Everyone's taking selfies, and we've encouraged you today to take selfies, post them, go on where the step and repeat banner is in the hallway, let people know what you're doing, get the word out there. We like looking at people's faces. As human beings, we do respond to a face better than some other things. Now, we'll take puppies and kittens and all that other stuff out of the mix, but we absolutely do respond to the human face. And if the human face is smiling and having fun, we respond to that. So again, all of these tools, social, whether it's email, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, whether any of these things, blogging, they have so many beneficial uses to you as a business owner and as a career track professional that's looking to position yourself with strength with whatever it is that you do or about whatever it is that you do. So it's an education tool, it's a research tool, it's a reporting tool. It's obviously for promotional purposes, right? The bottom line is we want to make money. We want to do well in business. Another important facet, which I don't know if too many people mentioned today, it's obviously the best customer service tool. I'm online and I'm seeing that something's not happening correctly, and I tweet to TD Bank. And within a couple of seconds, I'm getting a response. Let us know where you are. DM us, because of course they want to take it offline. DM us, please, and we'll get right involved. And then the person who happens to be in charge of that happens to live in this area. So he finally comes up to me after I've done this a few times. Patty, just call me. Let me know. But TD, what they say is, we're not going to hide from that. We're using that as a teachable moment. Brilliant. So if they have a problem, they want to know about it. They expect people on social are going to report that there's a problem. It's a Saturday, there's one teller, there's 6 people online. What the heck's going on? There's 3 people over at their desks doing I don't know what, who are not even paying attention to the fact that there's 6 people online and it's a Saturday, and come on. They call it a teachable moment. Use these channels to understand that people are going to say things about you. Make sure you have Google Analytics set up so you get a notice when someone does say something about you or your business, you know about it. And then respond. Don't be an ostrich. Respond. Because people, and when I heard this years ago when I was at a search engine strategies conference, the person who was in charge of social media at the time was Delta, and Delta was one of the first companies that actually made $1 million via a Twitter campaign. So anyway, their thing was, how can I help? Diffuse the situation. Someone's mad about something, diffuse the situation with those words. How can I help? 4 words. 4 words. That's all. Amazing how you can serve and diffuse and, take care of things. So hobbies and interests, again, you can connect with people that you have things in common with, whether it's where you graduated from or I'm from Long Island. I meet someone from Long Island and it's like, ooh, we have something in common, right? Okay, so live events like this, and I was hoping to try and get a live picture for today, but that didn't happen. They're valuable. Part of the conversation is you want that end thing to be that personal connection. So when someone tells me, I'm not doing social media because I don't market outside of 10 miles away. I don't need to do that. Oh, yeah, you do. And if you're not doing it, your competitor who's more savvy about social media and understands this is the communication revolution, this is the time, this is the place, they're on board, they're doing all the things that they have to do. Yes, it's the start. But the end goal is to have that personal connection and to be at places like this where you're going to meet up with the person and just have that face-to-face conversation. And the goal as a marketer and the goal as in social media, it's an ageless, timeless thing. It's constant what our cumulative goal is, right? The goal is about communicating better, improving. Because we can always do better, right? There's stuff that we're doing, and maybe it's not as productive as it could be. And all these tools, again, that's all they are. They're tools. It's how do I get to the end goal? And the end goal, in my mind, is making money. It's making money. Nothing wrong with that. We're here to make money. And how do we get our point across? How do we get someone to be aware of us, A, to trust us, to feel comfortable, and then to Kaching? That's the equation. How do I do that? What kind of communications do I put out there via blogging and emailing and tweeting and Facebooking and all of those things, and hopefully feeding them into your email funnel, because again, as Karen mentioned earlier, it is all about that these things could disappear. You don't know. You own your email list. So all these things are about creating awareness, creating engagement, that famous word, but that's what it is. And the engagement is get over to my email. Sign up for my email. I'm going to give you something special. I got a great offer. I got a free ebook. I'm giving away a free training session if you're a Pilates instructor. Give something away. Make an offer of value that's truly going to be of interest, and people will give you their email addresses, and then you own that. And that's improving your communications. So I know a few people have gone over these things. I'm not going to go over it again too long. We've got all this stuff about, you know, the world's population and how quickly the behaviors are changing, and people are adopting this as a given. Even people in hard, you know, countries that don't have as much money, they don't have the same kind of reception. It's where it's at. They know it. They're going digital. There's a lot of people, billions. And as Karen said earlier too, you know, it's not about do you want 1 billion new clients? Of course you can't handle that. But it's about making sure that you're in where you're expected to be to get that next best client. And some of it is surprising. You think, oh, it's just the young people. It's the young people. They're just, you know, so cool with all this stuff. No, it's older people too. It's people that have been around the block a few times, but they're saying, hey, okay, I'm going to be responding better to brands and branded messages 2 times more than kids that are in the 28-year-old range. Amazing, the statistics. And so this is why it behooves you to Google these things, to Google just email statistics. You'd be floored how much email converts better than other channels. And again, the other channels are great because it's about the awareness first, and then you want to feed them into that funnel. So yes, social is global, and everyone says, oh, I don't need to be global, but that's not the point. The point is that you can direct the traffic specifically to you through the keywords, which pinpoints who you are and where you are. So if you have a pizzeria in Ringwood, as I've heard Karen say, you want to make sure that you're doing hashtag Ringwood, hashtag New Jersey, hashtag pizzeria. Because when someone is on their phone looking for a place to eat, and they're not in this area, and maybe even they are in the area, but they're not aware about you. If you're not doing these hashtags and being in these places, yes, the Yelp reviews will show up, but you want to make sure that your self-authored content that positions yourself with strength is also showing up. And with the keywords and hashtags, you're going to be doing that. Also, of course, in your blogs. So with some emerging trends, I mean, you know, who knows, right? It could be anything. But I do have a little bit of, you know, insight into this. We're all expecting instantaneous information. When we click, we're expecting it. Again, I used to say this in a lot of places where I'm giving talks. I am naturally impatient. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a Scorpio. I'm impatient. I want what I want, and I need it yesterday, right? When I used to deal with people in California, they'd be like, yeah, okay. Oh my gosh, I need this now. So now, because of the internet, we actually are all getting a little bit impatient, right? When you click on something, you're expecting it, and you're expecting it yesterday. How come this is not loading? How come I'm not seeing this, right? So the key for us as marketers and business owners is to anticipate and understand that people's attention span is, you know, basically the span of a gnat. It's a couple seconds. So if you're not engaging them with your visuals and what you have to say, and you're not getting to the point with, what do you do? Why should I care? And bottom line, what do you want me to do? I've landed on this page. What do you want me to do now? If you're not thinking ahead about that, and flip that over, the folks that are thinking about that, they're getting better engagement. They're getting better conversions. So the trend, I think, is more people understanding that. So if you haven't watched this silly lady putting on a Chewbacca mask, please do. This is my Star Wars tie-in again. 2 or 3 minutes worth of her, first of all, getting to the point of unwrapping it, then putting it on and laughing hysterically. And she's up to 6.7 million views as of today. Because last night is when I added this, actually this morning at 5:30 in the morning, I added this slide in. So very funny. She's not selling anything. People are watching it though. Can all of us have a viral video? No. Do all of us need a viral video? No. We just need to produce stuff that's going to be valuable to the people who are looking for us. So is this something that could be a goal? Yes. But is it a realistic goal for someone to say, it's just like someone coming to me and saying, I want to be on Ellen. Get in line. I want to be on Ellen. Millions of people want to be on Ellen. Let's talk about the realistic goal of what do you need to make money? How many people do you really need to connect with? How many people do you need to get into your sales funnel in order to be successful? So again, you know, periscoping. This was taken from a live periscope when things were happening, really bad things were happening in Paris. And again, these citizen journalists are out there reporting, and some of them are reporting before I get the alert from AP, Euromaestro is reporting on some of the stuff. Now, how this guy does this, he's based in Paris, but he's getting, you know, he can only be in so many places. It's amazing. Don't discount the value of this live streaming stuff. For me, I'm doing it for myself just because I'm a foodie. I do food stuff, and I only did a couple. But for more clients, I want to do it because it's interesting, and people are there. Yes, okay. So the Seth Godin effect, if you've ever heard of Seth Godin, he's one of my favorite marketing guys. You know, his whole thing is, if you're driving by the side of a road and you see a farm and there's cows, ooh, nice, moo cows. Moo cows, look kids, moo cows. But if you see a purple cow, whoa, you're gonna slam on the brakes, you're gonna stop right there, you're gonna pull off the road, you're gonna take pictures with the purple cow in the background and go, wow, how cool is this, a purple cow? The idea is you need to find what makes you remarkable and focus on that, because that's your purple cow for your business. Finding what makes you remarkable then will get people to be attracted to you. At the same point with trends, it's, you know, be wary. I get emails all the time where people are signing up for my emails, and I know these people are spammers, and they have, when I actually take the end of their URL to check out what the quote name of their company is, I get to a white page with nothing on the page except for 3 lines on the top and 2 links. Oh boy, do not click there. God knows where you'll go. So you have to be wary about things. And I think people with the security issues of things, we are getting more savvy about that. And there will be more tools for us to sort of keep us on the straight and narrow as things go on. People are understanding about content, that it attracts, it engages, it produces. Again, we went through about how behaviors have changed and we're expected to be there. I was going to read through a couple of takeaway points, but I know I'm out of time. But you've heard some amazing advice today from a lot of different speakers. They've given you insight. They've given you, hopefully, a few things that you can take with you and implement in your business right away, or at least start to do reading about so that you can familiarize yourself, if nothing more than to just have an intelligent conversation with the person that you're hiring to do the work. Because if you are paying and you're budgeting for this stuff, you need to be aware about some of these facets and some of these tactics and certainly the strategies that we've covered here today. So whether you're blabbing and you're doing that, you don't have to. If you do, great. Or you're doing the email marketing, absolutely. That's not a maybe. Everyone, please put this on your list, your to-do list. You have to have an email. You have to be constantly feeding that email with growing your list and with getting more people. Know that things are constantly going to change, and you're just going to have to ride it. We have to strap ourselves in like we're on a roller coaster and just say, hey, baby, okay, social media is here, not going away. Let's see what happens over the next bump as we're on the roller coaster. It's all about fast tracking, people knowing about you, trusting you, doing business with you. That's what it's all about. Creating those relationships one at a time, and I hope that you will all use the force of social media to escape the dark side of not being informed. So thanks again for attending today. Have a great time. Great cocktail hour.